Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and I'm going to have a quick sip of my coffee if you do not mind. So, the topic today is what are the 3 reasons my lawyer never calls me or never calls me back? Top 3 reasons my lawyer will not call me back or never calls me or won't call me back, okay? But before we talk about that, I just want to let you know, have you ever had a barber, if you're a guy, or even if you're a woman and you go to a hairdresser, have you ever had a barber that gives you the same haircut no matter what you tell them? I got a barber. I love these guys. I love going there. We joke around. You know, they taught me about soccer. Every time I go in there, no matter what I ask for, same haircut. I call it day one of Marine boot camp haircut. They give you a super short haircut. Now, my last haircut was 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It's still like pretty short. It's starting to get a little shaggy on the sides, and the top is a weird length. I got like the straightest hair for a white guy you ever met in your life. Straight. If I woke up and just got out of the shower at this length, my hair would all be pointing straight. I got to put product in it to get those guys to lay down. And so if you got really straight hair like that, it's hard to cut it and make it even, right? I get it. I don't think I have the easiest head to cut. But, you know, I was wearing it a little bit longer, and all I wanted to do was just have him clean up the edges in the back. Told him, like, yeah, just leave it long on the top. Like, just take like this much off the top, even it up. But, just the sides and the back, clean it up. Same haircut, template, bang, short. So I'm growing it out, and now it's like every which way. Maybe I need to put more product in it. Probably do. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm always talking about my weird hair. Um, the 3 reasons your lawyer doesn't call you back. Okay. The first reason is that your lawyer is probably really busy. Now, if you've watched some of my other videos, you know that I've explained to you that it has never been busier for lawyers in injury cases. The amount of hoops and BS work you have to do as an injury lawyer today, it's never been worse. Insurance companies have a calculated plan of wasting lawyers' time before they'll make an offer on a case. So they make you run around like an a-hole. Get me this, get me that, do this, do that. And one of the major insurance companies, I've got a lot of their cases in my office, and I've been settling a lot of them lately, or trying to. And I'm convinced they have trained their staff to require the lawyer to call 20 times before the case can settle. And then you never get them on the phone when you call back. So every time you call them, they have this elaborate call tree. So I'm on the phone for 3 minutes before I even can leave a voicemail. None of them want to give you a direct number. So you're calling this toll-free number, and then it's this elaborate BS call tree that I got to go through every time. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then you talk to them, and it's always some other, BS thing. Now that's just pre-lit. If you've got a lawyer who actually handles cases in court and does litigation, the illness and shutdowns caused courts to change how they do things, and some things are more efficient, some are less, but we still have a situation where each judge has their standing order. And a standing order from a judge is just a rule about how they do things. And most judges have a standing rule. So there's the chief judge who makes a rule. Let's start at the beginning. There's the Illinois Supreme Court that makes the rules about how things are supposed to happen. Then there's the chief judge of, whatever county you happen to be in, and they have rules about how things are supposed to happen procedurally. Then each judge has their own rules about procedure. And as a lawyer, you're supposed to know all of them. And when A courtroom that's had a judge for a long time, they switch over. They usually don't make an announcement. They don't email all the attorneys that are in front of the retiring judge or the judge who's getting transferred to a different division. They don't email the lawyers and say, here's the new judge and here's the new judge's standing order. They just wait for everybody to screw up and the new judge yells at you. Not very efficient. Luckily, a lot of judges have been around the block and they're pretty tolerant of screw ups and all the rest of it. And honestly, I think I think the judges understand. But my point is, it's nerve wracking, and so it's easy as a client to think that the lawyer is just lazy, doesn't care, but it's really true that lawyers have never been busier. Last thing I'll say about that topic is that a lot of law firms are down on staff or they have new staff. So during the lockdowns and all that, every law firm I know has had a major, major shakeup, a major staff shakeup. They've moved from large offices to smaller offices. They've downsized. They're hiring out of state help or out of country help, which is my knock on a lot of the big firms. A lot of the big firms that are the major advertisers, you never actually talk to a lawyer ever. And I've actually heard rumors, I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard rumors that in pre-litigation, a lawyer never looks at or touches a case. It's all non-lawyers until there's a lawsuit, which to me is crazy. Uh, I know if I was injured, I would want a lawyer to look at my case. I wouldn't want God knows who from what country trying to manage my case. I mean, what are the chances that a non-lawyer, a non-paralegal from another country whose native language is not English is going to know enough about your local law, your local procedure to understand what they're supposed to be doing without the supervision of a lawyer? So that scares the hell out of me, and I wouldn't. The standard I use is, would I want that if I was injured? And the answer is no. Okay, so that's the first reason. Probably your lawyer is very, very tired. Okay. The second reason why your lawyer doesn't call you back is is because probably your lawyer has a limiting belief. Okay. Your lawyer may be like frustrated. Your lawyer might be biased. And I know this is like inside baseball stuff, right? Lawyers who practice for a while or they practice in a certain environment, they see clients and client communication as a draw on their time and energy. They don't see it as customer service. And to the lawyer, in a certain environment, or if they've been doing it long enough and they're jaded, they look at the case just as a case. They look at a case and say, this case is going to yield me a fee of between X and Y, and I got a million other cases, and I'm busy, and I don't have time to do this, and they're not going to understand what I tell them anyway, and if I call them back right away, it's going to encourage them to call every day or every week, right? And it's not going to help me get to the money just talking to the client, right? And, if you've watched some of my other videos, you know what I think about that. If you're injured and you have a lawyer and they're eventually going to get some money from you in your case for representing you, then you have a right to a callback, a status, and an explanation. And this idea that an injured person isn't going to understand, it's nonsense. All of this stuff, you can use analogies to break it down and explain it. I mean, I do it. I didn't start out this good at explaining stuff. I think I've always been pretty good at understanding things and explaining them pretty good, but I've gotten better over the years, right? And you only get better at something if you apply yourself to doing it. And I think a lot of the people I've represented and a lot of people who are viewers on this channel really appreciate that I have invested some, burned some calories to think about this stuff and come up with analogies that make sense. One of the analogies I use is the car lot. We're selling a car. You drive your car onto my lot and you say, Scott, get me as much as I can get for this car. And I tune it up, rotate the tires, change the oil, clean it inside and out, put a coat of wax on it, right? If there's some dings and dents on it, I polish them up, I fix them up, so that when the buyer, the insurance company or the jury or the judge comes and looks at the car, they say, it's a pretty nice car. We're willing to pay some money for it. And then we haggle, right? That's the settlement process in a nutshell. So how come I can explain it? And it also explains why having the right lawyer makes a big difference. You don't want a lawyer who you drive your car on the lot and they let air out of the tires, right? Or they put sand in your gas tank, or they just let it sit out so that when somebody comes on the lot to look at it, it's dirty. No, you need somebody who's going to actually work on the car, improve it, and push it forward and try and advertise, get sellers, get buyers in there. And you don't jump at the first offer, right? It's an analogy. Everybody understands that. But anyway, uh, it's frustrating to deal with a lawyer who won't call you back and who, like, you can tell when you get them on the phone, they don't want to talk to you, they don't want to tell you anything, and they want to get off the phone as fast as possible, or they just won't call you back. Or they have somebody at their office call you back who doesn't know anything, and the lawyer didn't tell him anything. So that's how you know you got a lawyer who sort of has an attitude that client communication doesn't matter, or they don't think you're going to understand it. But at the end of the day, it's your case and you have a right to know that stuff, right? The third reason your lawyer might not be calling you back is that they might be one of these giant mills. We talked about that under the first topic. If you hired your lawyer and you see them on TV all the time. They have all the billboards, they're on the sides of buses, they have benches, all of the billboards, they're on the radio, they're on TV. Um, they have a catchy, you know, they're renting a cool name from some marketing company. Uh, they got catchphrases and slick TV commercials. Those are likely the firms these days that you're never going to talk to a lawyer. Or if you do talk to a lawyer, it's going to be a brand new lawyer who's never tried a case, doesn't really have that much experience, and they're going to go off a checklist. Because you're going to call, they're going to go off a checklist, and at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Um, so what I think about those giant firms. So the reason they don't call you back is because literally they don't have staff to do it. So my understanding is how most of those firms work is a lawyer doesn't even handle the case. They've got what are called case managers. Most of these bigger firms and even some mid-sized firms use out of, case managers that are not lawyers, not legal secretaries, not paralegals from out of the country to sort of handle phone calls and all the rest of it. And they don't know how any of it works other than the tiny little bit of training. And that's why when you call them, if you get them on the phone, they don't know what to tell you. And a lot of times what they do is they put their phone on do not disturb. So all you can do is leave voice messages and they never return your call because they're human beings too. They don't want to be bad at their job, and they don't want to call you back and disappoint you and have you be frustrated. And what I think a lot of lawyers don't realize is when you don't call people back or you call them back or have staff call them back and you don't help the staff understand what the issue is and how to explain it, the client's just going to get more angry and frustrated because the client's getting a BS answer. which in some ways, no callback might be better than repeated callbacks with the same BS answer that doesn't help, right? So anyway, uh, those are the three most common reasons, in my opinion, why your lawyer won't call you back or won't reach out to you and talk to you. So anyway, I hope some of that gives you an insight to how all of this stuff works. If you need a lawyer, work with a lawyer where you actually get to talk to a lawyer, or it's a lawyer you've talked to before who you know has good communication, gets back to you. you at a firm where you know a lawyer is actually looking at the case. That doesn't mean, I once had a lady who told me she wanted me to do everything on her case. She wanted me to personally order her medical records. She wanted me to make every phone call and write every letter in her case. And I told her, I have a secretary and a paralegal for a reason, right? There's literally not time in the day for me to do all that. That's not what I mean. Lawyers need help just because of the volume of paperwork, right? And the volume of phone calls. What I'm talking about is what we've been talking about in this video is people who won't call you back. Um, you deserve more than that. You deserve better than that. So my advice is to go with a firm where an actual lawyer is going to be handling your case, actually to talk to you, actually work on your case and evaluate your case. You do not want one of these other firms where no one ever looks at your case. So that's the upshot of it. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you or anyone you know needs a lawyer, please give me a call. You can call anytime, night or day, 312-500-4500. That's 312-500-4500. Completely free call, free consultation. You can also call that number if you have somebody you want to refer to me, 312-500-4500. If you're not ready to talk to a lawyer, I've got a bunch of things, tools, assets for you that are free and no obligation. The first two are my calculators. One is the case cash calculator, tells you whether what your case might be worth. And the other one is the good case calculator, tells you whether you might have a good case or whether you might have a case with some challenges. Okay. The cool thing is both of these are free. You can use them as many times as you want. I'm getting a ton of positive feedback. People really love using these tools. So I would encourage you to check them out. The cool part is 20 seconds. You answer 7 multiple choice questions or 8 right off the top of your head. Answer the questions and you get custom information on your situation for free without talking to a lawyer, no obligation. You can use them as many times as you want. You can share them with friends, whatever you want to do. Links to those calculators in the description. I have over 300 injury videos like this one where I explain how all this stuff works on my website. You can check that out. You can search in the search box on my YouTube channel because I've probably answered a question that you have or a similar one. But if you don't find a custom question on my YouTube channel, leave a comment in the comments section and ask for a custom video and I'll shoot one for you, answering your specific question. But don't go into too much detail. If you want to go into a lot of detail, it's better to give me a call. You don't want to put too much detail out in public on the internet because anyone can see it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you get notified when I release a new video. You can do that. And if you do that, hit the bell icon so you get notified when I release a new video. Currently, I'm releasing 2 a week. So what else? What else? If you enjoy the free information I give for injured people to help them avoid pitfalls and insurance company traps, and you wouldn't mind doing me a favor, I'd really appreciate it. I need as many 5-star reviews on Google as I can get. So there's a link in the description. All you do is go to that web address on your phone, tablet, or computer. Takes you right to the page. Click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit. Literally 5 or 10 seconds for you, but an invaluable favor to me that I will never forget and I will always appreciate you having done. So it's easy for you to do. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't do it. No problem. We'll still be friends, and all the tools and information that I provide to injured people are still here for you to use, and we're still friends. But um, anyway, I hope you and your family are well, and I hope you appreciated the info in the video. If there's anything I can do for you, please give me a holler, 312 500 4500. Other than that, thanks for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful, productive, healthy day. And that's that. So thanks again for watching. Take care.